Okay.
I'm Mary Minsky, and this is Isaac Minsky.
I'm Robert Minsky, and this is Nathan Minsky. When we first started this process about 6 years ago, God put a calling on me, and I felt He did, that we were to take care of children that needed us. Not children that were just, like born and needed parents, but children that really needed us.
When Christian Homes first learned about the boys, their aunt had called to say she was caring for her children plus her 2 nephews. She felt overwhelmed by the situation and just could not continue to care for them. The boy's mother was first somewhat resistant to the idea of adoption because she had thought she had made adequate plans. But in talking with her, I promised her that we would continue to look for a family that would meet her expectations, a Christian family.
We contacted Christian Homes because we wanted God's will involved in all of our decisions on this.
We look for families who are able to commit to raising those children as Christians, to developing a relationship, and to explaining to those children that we are all the adopted sons and daughters of the good Lord. And to be able to accept and to cherish and develop a relationship not only with their children, but with their birth parents, to develop that heritage, to give those children a sense of value and well-being, to make sure that they understand God loves all of us. When we first started thinking about the right family for these boys, their situation was a little bit out of the ordinary, and I immediately thought of the Minskys. Christian Homes made arrangements for the Minskys to come to West Texas to meet the boys, their aunt, and then we subsequently placed the boys with them. They immediately began to respond to the boy's mother. They wrote letters to her. They sent photographs to her so that she could see how much they really were caring for the boys and how much they loved them. And it made a huge difference. The thing that struck me at the courthouse when we were going through the mediation process to try to resolve all of the issues was when the boy's birth mother finally was able to meet the Minskys.
When I saw her for the first time, it was like my heart opened up to her too. We just hugged, and it was, she's a part of us. Maybe not as much as the boys are, but she's definitely a part of us.
They had not realized having twin toddlers in their home, how it was going to create so much activity. And so that's been fun to watch, just to see how this family has evolved from the very beginning when I first met them, when the boys were placed in their home, until a year later.
Now I can imagine life without them. They have brought so much to us, to our lives, both as Robert and Mary, and then they've brought so much to their grandparents, their cousins. They've expanded everybody's life and heart.
The boys, when they first came to the Minsky's home, the boys were developmentally delayed. One of them was like 10 months behind in his speech. The other one was like 5 to 7 months behind. Speech therapy came in. Robert and Mary worked with the boys. They were so dedicated to doing what it takes to get these boys to where they need to be.
It's the best thing in the world. Even through all the trials, the tribulations, your heart is filled every day by just that one look.
The boys now have exceeded their speech and are ahead of where they even need to be developmentally, and they have been moved up in classes at daycare, and they have really stuck with it.
Just looking at my boys, each night when I put them down, say our prayers, I can walk out of the room and know that they're okay. I've done my job, they're safe, they're happy. You feel fulfilled.
I'm just always awed by the fact that God can use any one of us. And in this case, myself, the caseworkers, Christian Homes, to bring His plan into being.
Our biggest hope for the boys is that we help them to reach their fullest potential. We want God's best for them, and whatever that is what we want for them.